So, yeah, we don't need to talk about it, right?
I don't think so.
No, great. Alright, cool. I have a record player now.
Yay! He's joined the hellscape!
Yeah, especially because stupid me, I spent all day being mad that I couldn't get the power on and then figured out it's because what I thought was the power cable wasn't actually the power cable.
Yay. Or not yay. Is that a not yay?
No, I mean, look, I feel like I'm in a hell of my own making, but at least I can listen to Hailstorm on vinyl while I'm trapped there.
And can.
And can. I need to put that on.
Yes, I have infected this man with the enjoyment of vinyl.
The appreciation. I don't know about enjoyment just yet. I gotta do some more troubleshooting. Anyways, welcome to Under the Bridge, everybody!
Welcome to Under the Bridge.
I'm Cody, aka the Scarlet Troll.
And I am Greg, aka Greg.
And this is our podcast where we talk news of the pop culture variety. Sometimes comic news, sometimes gaming news, pretty much always movie news, and also pretty much always a movie review. So make sure to ring the like button, smash that bell, and share the video around if you're into that sort of thing, because it helps us out, and we appreciate it a lot.
It does help us out a lot, because remember, when it comes to engagement, you do have power here.
That's even funnier, because that's not going to make any sense until a week and a half at least after this video comes out.
Right.
So, great job.
Thank you.
Keep an eye out for our next episode of Cinema Synergy. Wink, wink. Maybe check out some of the older ones if you haven't already. Wink, wink.
So many winks that it sets off a sonic boom.
So many winks you'll think I'm Nick Fury. I don't know where I was going with that. It was an eye patch joke. I don't know.
Does that mean that you lost your eye to an alien cat too?
Oh, look, if I have one problem with Captain Marvel, we're not gonna get into it.
Yeah.
We're not gonna get into it.
Years of wonder just for that disappointment, but we're not gonna get into that.
Last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye.
Tyler, the creator, is just like, so that was a lie.
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I have the gamut this time. I have comic news, and I have gaming news, and I have movie news. Kind of.
Oh boy.
Right? It's very exciting. I'm very excited.
Yay!
We're gonna start with the comic news.
Okay.
Which is that, per Marvel Editor-in-Chief and all-around, not great guy, C.B. Cebulski. Look up C.B. Cebulski, Akira Yoshida, if you're curious. I'm not gonna get into it here, but just give it a look. Give it a look.
C.B. I have no idea how to spell this man's name, by the way. Cebulski.
Cebulski. C-E-B-U-L-S-K-I. You know, I'm not saying he used a pseudonym to present himself as Asian when he's not in order to get his foot in the door on
this
certain
guy!
projects. Yeah, that guy!
Right! I remember.
Anyways, I'm not gonna get into it, but just look it up! Look it up! Check it out! Give it a look-see!
No, I remember us talking about that, what was it, last year?
Probably. Anyways, he was at Osaka Comic-Con as editor-in-chief.
No. I feel like he would have been banned for life from that con.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, what? Jesus! That's not the important part. The important part is, he announced that the Young Avengers are going to be reuniting in 2025 in comics. But we don't know who's on the team. He teased who's going to join, but specifically listed Kate Bishop, Patriot, Hulkling, and Wiccan as options, but then said you'll see in 2025.
Okay.
So, that's cool. I like the Young Avengers. I'm a little worried that this means that they're planning to do specifically the Young Avengers in the MCU, which, okay, this is gonna sound really stupid, okay? But bear with me on this one.
This is what I live for.
Exactly. This is what you come for. My stupid takes. I don't have a problem with putting the Young Avengers team in the MCU. I just don't think you should call it Young Avengers. And I know, I'm the one advocating for stuff like, oh, this Thunderbolts team doesn't look like the Thunderbolts, why are they calling it that? But specifically for branding purposes, calling a team Young Avengers is a really fucking stupid idea.
Because they age.
Because they're gonna age. You're at best gonna get one project, and then they stop being the Young Avengers, and they're just the regular next band of Avengers. So just call them New Avengers. Actually, don't call them that. You get maybe 3 movies out of that before New Avengers stop being new, and just start being run-of-the-mill old Avengers. But anyways, the point is, for example, Kate Bishop. Iconic member of the Young Avengers. Haley Steinfeld is already 27.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, so, I mean, just when you hear Young Avengers, you're assuming a younger super team. And you're running out of time to put that together. So maybe just call them the Avengers. Maybe call them the Champions. I don't fucking know.
Call them the Wonder Bread Adventures. That shit is timeless.
Wonder Bread Avengers. You know what? If you could get the sponsorship, go for it.
Yeah.
I wonder, because I mean, okay, we've got Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Hulkling hasn't shown up yet. I can't get into a couple of people, because you haven't seen Agatha all along, which you should.
I know.
Patriot's technically debuted, but there's no indication he has superpowers, although there's no indication he doesn't have superpowers, so...
Wait. Oh, never mind. I'm stupid.
Did you think I meant Iron Patriot?
No, I thought you meant... Oh, God. The guy who was partnered with U.S. Agent.
Oh, Battlestar.
Yeah.
No. Patriot was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. He's Isaiah Bradley's grandson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know he exists.
Mm-hmm.
Stature exists. Or is she Stinger in the MCU? I don't remember. Ant-Man's daughter.
I think... I don't remember what they called her.
I think it was Stinger? I think it might have been Stinger. I don't remember. That would require me to rewatch Quantumania, and I will at some point, but I don't know. I don't feel the need anytime soon.
Let's see. Cassie Lang.
We know America Chavez is in the MCU already, and she's a key member of the Young Avengers. We've seen a Kid Loki, but I don't think they're gonna use Kid Loki because he's in the Void, so...
Fair. Stature is her name.
Okay, cool. That's the OG name. I can dig it.
Yes. Wait a minute.
Even though it's not about Shaft. That's a dumb joke.
Shaft.
No, I'm excited to see the Young Avengers again because they haven't been neglected in the comics, but as a team they haven't had a lot of play lately, and their dynamics were interesting and I liked it. So I would love to see them back.
So, I just made a really dumb realization that I probably should have realized ages ago.
Oh boy, hit me with it.
Cassie Lang is played by Katherine Newton.
Yeah.
Lisa Swallows from Lisa Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I somehow, for some reason, did not realize that all this time later.
To be fair, they've had like 3 different actresses playing this girl, so...
you know what, that's fair.
So I'm not gonna begrudge you not knowing that one. But also, yeah, that's Lisa Swallows from my second favorite movie this year so far? Second favorite, yeah.
Oh, second favorite.
Let's go to gaming news.
Okay.
So, we have an update on the eventual Switch successor. We don't know what that is yet, but we do have an update. Courtesy of Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa. I'm sorry, my pronunciation is terrible.
Yeah, I would say I don't think I would be much better when it comes to Japanese.
And at Nintendo's corporate management policy briefing on November 5th, very important thing, invitations were sent, punch was served. They announced that Nintendo Switch software will be playable on the Switch's successor, and Nintendo Switch Online will also be available.
Okay, I mean, on one hand, I'm very glad that they actually did confirm that. But on the other hand, man, they would have been digging the biggest grave for themselves if they did not make Switch stuff backwards compatible.
Okay, maybe this is me being a negative Nancy. Maybe this is me being a little overly paranoid. Maybe this is me just trying to brace myself so I don't get burned. But we don't technically know that means all the cartridges are going to be backwards compatible.
That is true.
That could just mean digital downloads.
Yes, or it might be just like a select list of games. I mean, I don't want to paint Nintendo in such a horrific light, but it wouldn't put it past them to be a thing of, yeah, our games are backwards compatible. Our games. The Nintendo brand games, not anyone else's shit. Everyone else, if you have it digitally, you're good. If you don't, we'll get fucked.
I mean, that would be one of the better instances of backwards compatibility from them, because, I mean, you look at it, SNES, can't play NES games. N64, can't play SNES, well, okay, I think it can, but you need an adapter? No, that's the Super Game Boy. That lets you play Game Boy games on your Super Nintendo. They're weird about it. N64, can't play SNES games. GameCube, can't play N64 games.
That would have been so sick, though.
Wouldn't it? Right? Just think about that.
Yeah, it's just like a GameCube, but with an obnoxious N64 cartridge slot on it. That would have been sick.
And then for a couple generations they were good about it, because Wii could play GameCube, and Wii U could play Wii, but not GameCube. And then for the Switch, they were like, fuck it, we ballin', cartridges now.
Yeah, it's like, we're going back to what we know about.
So I should certainly hope that when they say that, they mean all Switch games. I mean, how hard... I'm not a game developer, obviously. As you can tell, I'm just a simple podcaster who enjoys stating opinions, most of which are not as informed as I'd like them to be. But I imagine if you're already doing something with similar architecture to the Switch, it probably isn't that hard to put a Switch cartridge slot on there.
Yeah.
They're tiny! That's part of the whole appeal of the stupid things. You had to make them taste bad so children wouldn't eat them, they're so tiny. I have tasted them. They are gross.
I will take your word on that one, because I have no desire to put one of those in my mouth.
Good man, you're wiser than I.
Now, granted, I was the one who did put a 9-volt battery to his tongue once when I told someone, it's like, I don't believe you.
Oh, that's pretty good.
I wish I could say it happened when I was, like, in middle school, but it happened when I was an adult. Someone told me when I went to technical college, it's like, yeah, if you put a 9-volt battery, it'll shock you. It's like, I don't believe you. Takes 9-volt battery. Oh, shit!
Ugh. And now, in less good news, SEGA is doing a dumb.
Are they making a new console?
No, well, okay, there's some speculation that maybe, but the thinking behind it is bad. Because Sega's planning to delist over 60 classic Sega Genesis and Dreamcast games on December 6th from digital stores across all major platforms.
Why?
Don't know! That's why some people are thinking maybe they're making their own system again, or maybe they're doing... Oh god, can you imagine if they're just doing another Genesis with preloaded games on it?
After it didn't work every other time it's happened.
Oh, now I'm sad, because that seems much more likely.
Well, the idea of them making a new system?
Yeah.
Ooh, especially with the remasters of games that they're working on. Ooh.
Ugh.
We might have just, what is it called in sports, where it's like the whole specation thing? It's behind-the-scenes basketball or what have you.
Inside baseball.
Inside baseball. It's like, did we just inside baseball Sega?
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Okay, wait, I'm looking a little closer, and it seems like not everything is across all platforms, but all platforms are losing something. Steam users are apparently losing the most. They're losing 60 games. Xbox users are losing Mega Drive Classics, as well as PlayStation and Switch users.
Okay.
But yeah, no clue.
Well, that's concerning and a little bit silly. I guess in some instances Sega is indeed allergic to money.
Well, on one update, you can still play the titles you already own.
Oh, I was gonna say, if they pull an Ubisoft and are just like, yeah, you can't play this even though you paid money for it, then that's, guys, what the hell?
I really don't like how I put that as a bright side instead of a baseline expectation. Oh, how benevolent of you! This thing that I paid you money for, I can still continue to use! Thank you, my liege!
You're for real.
Remember, kids, shop local, steal corporate. Piracy is not only ethical, it's honestly borderline a moral obligation at this point. You didn't hear that from me! I'm kidding! It's a joke! I'm doing a funny, like I usually do, in case anybody's listening. Wink, wink.
And this is the part that gets cut from the podcast.
No, I'm keeping it. Hell, that line I just did, shop local, steal corporate, I stole that from somebody else. I practice what I preach. Piracy.
Oh, God almighty. What's the government organization that handles communications?
FTC?
The FTC does not like that.
What is the FCC?
The FTC has unsubscribed from the Scarlet Troll.
No, wait. FCC is the Federal Communications Commission. What's the FTC? Federal Trade Commission.
Yes.
I think it's probably the FCC, because that's the one that wouldn't let Eminem be.
Okay, so the FCC has unsubscribed from the Scarlet Troll.
Yeah, I know the FCC wouldn't let him be, so... Anyways, D23 Brazil happened, I want to say this weekend. I wasn't paying too close attention.
Oh boy.
And we got some minor updates, a lot of footage for stuff that wasn't officially released, like some Tron Ares footage and what have you. But we're not going to get into that. Ice Age 6 is happening, apparently, but I don't really care too much. I care just enough to mention it, you know?
I don't get why they're making another one. Let it die, like the Ice Age.
I assume that they're doing it because they want to appease people who are upset that they shut down Blue Sky Studios after they purchased Fox and found the department redundant. But that's not really what I'm here to talk about.
Alrighty.
Just remember, kids, shop local, steal corporate. I'm kidding! But Kevin Feige had quite a few things to say about quite a few things.
Oh boy.
And we also got a lot of trailers, which formed the bulk of trailer time. In fact, the entirety of trailer time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's been a while since we had an all-Marvel trailer time.
Right? I have some good news for both of us.
Oh boy.
Blade has not been cancelled.
But it is on indefinite hiatus.
Well, actually, you know what? Technically, he doesn't say...
Don't tell me that I'm right, based on the joke I just made, please.
No, I'm just realizing, technically, he didn't say that the movie's not cancelled. What he said was, we're committed to Blade. We love the character, we love Mahershala's version of him. What version? You keep rewriting it. But anyway...
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, what does that mean? You've had 5 different writers show up for this movie.
And rest assured, whenever we change direction with a project or are still trying to figure out how it fits into our schedule, we let the public know. You're updated on what's going on, but I can say that the character will make it to the MCU. He already did, he was in Eternals!
There's only one Blade, looks concerningly at the camera.
Oh, man. So, okay, at least, that's a little bit encouraging.
No.
Oh, I could really use some good Blade news right now. For Christmas, please. Yeah. Halloween 2.
Electric Boogaloo.
I had 2 different hurricanes steal part of my October. I need some good spooky news, okay?
I need a palate cleanser, please.
Yeah.
Preferably one that has a taste of dead, slain vampires.
Right. And some bad news for me.
Oh boy.
He was asked about the Scarlet Witch.
Okay.
And he said, we had Agatha all along on Disney Plus just now, and that series was great for us. Since then, there have been a lot of questions about Wanda in fans' minds, so all I can say is that we're excited to find out when and how Scarlet Witch can come back. Keep her dead!
Yeah, just keep her dead.
Could not have happened to a nicer person.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. More Scarlet Witch.
Don't get me wrong, I don't hate Elizabeth Olsen's take, I just hate how so much of Wanda is written as a hero when she's just not. Alright?
Do you think they could rework that into having her come back as an anti-hero at this point?
I think they could, but I also think it's a little too late for me to get any enjoyment out of that, because it's like, she's been this whole fucking time. I hate to turn it into another Wanda rant, but in her first fucking movie, not counting the post-credit scene at the end of Winter Soldier, because why would you? She dropped an angry Hulk on a city full of innocent people as a fucking diversion. Hell, she worked for fucking Hydra!
Mm-hmm.
For fuck's sake! Wanda's always been terrible in these.
Right.
But they keep treating her as, she is poor misunderstood Babby. No, shut the fuck up!
She literally took an entire town hostage against their will.
And then she got to fly off to study magic from the Book of the Damned completely unsupervised, and everybody turns around when that plan goes tits up and she turns evil and crazy to go, wonder what happened there? What the fuck do you think happened? You let her study from the Darkhold, you stupid fox! Monica! What the hell? Why did you fucking tackle her?
Monica! Sorry.
Oh. So, yeah, I'm not looking forward to Wanda coming back.
Yeah, sorry. That Ozzy Osbourne reference was not useful.
Is that what he says?
I think it's that in Crazy Train.
Hold on a second. He's saying all aboard.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't sound like it, so I can understand your confusion, but...
Yeah.
Here's some slightly better news.
Alright.
I think. Although, actually, this is kind of more of a monkey's paw sort of situation.
Alright.
He was also asked about Miles Morales.
Like live-action Miles Morales?
Well, what he said was, Miles will appear in the third Spider-Verse, which is in production. I hope that, shortly after that, he'll be able to enter the MCU in live action.
Okay. That's a little bit vague.
On the one hand, I really like Miles. Miles is actually kind of turning into my favorite Spider-Man, at least in the comics, because the relentless refusal to let Peter get any kind of positive win because we have to keep him as this whiny fucking man-baby who's not allowed to progress. God, I feel like I'm holding up a mirror. But the fact that he's not allowed to...
Jesus, man.
Oh, man. It's really funny talking about, oh man, Peter's a loser and shit. Oh, that's not doing anything and he lives in his aunt's basement. I mean, I don't live in my aunt's basement, but... So I'm a little bit ahead of Peter Parker on that front. You know what? I am better off than Peter Parker. Fuck you, Nick Lowe!
You don't have writers actually in control of your life and just making you miserable the entire time either.
As far as I know.
Yes. I mean, if that is the case, I need you to, like, get with them and be like, hey, I need you to rewrite the last 8 years of both of our lives, and I want a refund.
I know, right? So, I like Miles, and I'm excited for more. I'm excited for the possibility of Miles. The only problem I have is that Sony's still going to be involved.
Because they own that part of Spider-Man still.
They own literally everything Spider-Man. If something... They own Null. Null was first written in 2019, but because he's a Venom character, and Venom is a Spider-Man character, they own Null. They made that deal back in, what was it, fucking 90-something?
Did they now? I thought the current terms of this agreement were relatively modern.
No, but I mean, Sony having the Spider-Man film rights. Yeah, they bought the film rights in 1999, and apparently that deal was comprehensive enough that despite the deal being made in 1999, they own characters who were made 5 fucking years ago, or at least have the film rights. Can you fucking believe that?
That's wild, to say the least.
And I mean, it makes sense, because back then nobody was watching superhero movies, because Batman and Robin just happened, and everybody was like, the genre is dead. Blade happens. The genre is back!
The Punisher happens. The genre's dead a little bit.
Daredevil happens. I think it's on life support.
I say that, by the way, as someone who really likes the 2004 Punisher movie.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about Daredevil, though, some more interesting news. He also confirmed we're going to be seeing more multi-season TV shows.
So we get to see more of Daredevil having sex with She-Hulk.
Well, you haven't seen that at all, because you haven't watched She-Hulk now, have you?
No, I have not. That bit of information does still live rent-free in my head.
God, why is this now a running gag?
On today's episode of Has Greg Watched It?
So, he also mentioned that 2025 and its busy release schedule is not going to be normal. It's just a fact of they've been working on a lot of these for a while and they're ready now.
Okay.
So, they are planning on scaling back their release schedule following 2025, but... Well, they said they were gonna, and then they really haven't yet, but that's mostly because they just had a lot of things in production that they need to get out of the pipeline.
I can only imagine one of those things like, okay, this is done, this needs to come out in an adequate amount of time, we can't, like, sit on this for the next couple years.
Yeah. We're gonna keep the Marvel time rolling, it's trailer time!
It's trailer time!
It's trailer time again! We've got movie previews to watch! It's trailer time again! So, all the trailers we have this week, they're all Marvel. We got a new trailer for Captain America Brave New World. Fuck, how am I gonna get through this one without saying anything? How the fuck am I gonna get through this without saying anything?
Yeah! Hoo boy.
This is not a good time to have a Captain America movie.
No, the timing of this movie matched with the current events of this country, I don't think it could possibly be any worse.
I mean, on the one hand, this is exactly the time where we need this particular iteration of Captain America. On the other hand, when his movie inevitably bombs because you kept pushing it back to reshoots and rewrites or whatever, and the people who are already on the anti-woke right-wing grift train are already pissed off about it because, well, Captain America's black now and they can't have that, are already calling to not go see it because of that, and then you got people boycotting it because there's a character who's typically associated with Israel working for President Ross in this movie. And, well, I can't say as I blame him there, but...
Yeah.
So, this is just all around not the best time for maybe, no, just fuck. But it looks good!
It looks really good. I will say, I am fully sold on the Captain America costume. I never thought it was particularly bad, but I was kind of like, it's whatever. The whole bit where Captain America lands and we see the helmet deconstruct itself, followed by, wait for it, and then the sonic boom happens, just like, sold.
Yeah, that was really good!
That was really damn good.
Little funny detail, when Ross is going, I can't have a variable I can't control, there's a little glowy board that says cap status, and I was half expecting it to say, cap, not cap, that's so cap.
Oh, God.
President Ross just has a board telling him whether or not something is cap.
President Ross has a board with all the New Age slang. God almighty. I told you about how I found out what cap meant, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But tell me again.
It was a thing of one of my bosses, their youngest daughter was at our store, and they were talking about something, I don't know what, and then she just goes, "Oh, that's Cap." And I looked at this, at the time, 12-year-old and just said, "What the fuck is Cap?"
Jesus, Greg! Show some fucking restraint.
Yeah,
Watch your goddamn language. There's children present.
And then my boss explains it to me, I was just like, "That's stupid."
No, I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, this looks really good. It's just, the projected political climate is not going to be great for this movie.
No, and I hate to say that, but I mean, because I really tried to avoid it, but also it's a Captain America movie. I kind of can't not mention it in relation to this movie.
It's a Captain America movie where one of the core tenets of this movie is conspiracy within the highest levels of American politics. It's a little unavoidable, sadly.
Regardless of how this goes, I'm probably walking out of this movie real sad.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Also, it seems like they kept Red Hulk having, like, flaming hot Cheeto powers. That's pretty cool.
Mm.
He generates heat and fire or whatever.
Oh, okay, that I did not know.
Yeah, no, he does that.
Okay.
Also, I think the angrier he gets, the quicker his power runs out. At least in the comics.
That's interesting. That's an interesting reversal.
Yeah, at least I think that's how it worked. I don't remember now.
Hmm.
I guess I'm gonna have to do a Red Hulk episode at some point, huh? Oh, yeah. They haven't shown a lot of Joaquin Torres in this, though.
Oh, remind me which one he plays again?
He's the new Falcon.
Oh, okay.
He's the new Falcon for the new Cap.
Okay.
But we also got to see Giancarlo Esposito as Sidewinder. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like an actual full body shot, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool.
We also got a new trailer for Thunderbolts, and you know what? Okay, I'm sold. I'm good. This looks pretty alright.
Yeah, this looks pretty decent.
My skepticism has mostly fallen away. I don't think that making a joke about how all they do is punch and shoot makes it better, or makes it okay that you went with that, but the character dynamics do seem cool. Looks like some good rapport there. Looks funny. I like it. Red Guardian has a limo service.
Yeah. It's that Bucky. It's like, we're saved. It's like, oh, that's not good. Shoots the exploding disc. It's like, yay! Shit, explosion.
That's really good.
I also did enjoy Yelena just being like, alright, mission is, oh, wait, hold up a second. Turns around, explosion happens. It's like, yep, mission's complete.
Still holding the guinea pig. What is it? I need to find out what the deal with the guinea pig is.
Is the guinea pig a former Black Widow?
I don't think so. She probably just saves it from the building before everything explodes, if I had to guess.
Fair.
Unless that's her emotional support guinea pig that she brought for the mission.
That would be cute.
That would be really cute. But also, why the fuck you bringing a guinea pig on these things?
You're right.
Can you imagine needing an emotional support animal while you're carrying out Black Ops missions? Somebody make an anime about that. Or something. That's actually... you know what? That has potential.
That has potential.
What am I saying? Somebody make this. I should patent that idea. Copyright it, trademark it. Whatever the thing is.
Make some money.
Yeah! Woo! Like, comment, subscribe!
Like, comment, subscribe. You have the power here.
I like some details, like, I like how Walker's shield is all scratched up because it's clearly not vibranium, so...
Right.
Because of course it wouldn't be. They lost the vibranium shield they had. They're not going to give him another one.
You know what? I forgot that he did that.
Well, he didn't lose it so much as Bucky and Sam beat the shit out of him and took it from him.
Mm-hmm.
As he deserved.
Yeah, as he very much deserved.
I like Yelena and Ghost giving him shit about Dime Store Captain America. I actually was the official Captain America. Yeah, for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you know what? I was getting ready to actually make that joke, and then she said it for me. I was like, thank you, girl.
Thank you, Yelena. This is why you're my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that and busting into Kate Bishop's apartment to put sriracha in her mac and cheese. I know it's not why you went there, but still.
Still good. Still very good.
Still great. Kate, this is not cutlery.
Hmm.
Okay, still hate Ghost and Taskmaster's costumes. It actively makes it difficult for me to tell which one is which, depending on the lighting.
Yeah, I can see that. It's also a thing of, I very much need to rewatch Black Widow, but the Taskmaster costume is a major change from that one. It's just like, I don't know if I like that better or worse. I genuinely can't figure it out.
I'm a little neutral on the Taskmaster costume. The real lacking sauce costume is Ghost. I mean, this is what she looked like in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Right.
It's distinct. It's a white costume where everybody else is wearing black.
Yeah.
It would have been great. But instead, we got this sauceless piece of shit.
Yeah, okay, I am not crazy about that.
Hell, you know what? This isn't just sauceless. This is dry, uncooked pasta.
This is tenders without sauce.
This is unsauced tenders. These tenders aren't even fried yet. They haven't even breaded yet. They're just limp little pieces of fucking chicken sitting there, being sad.
This outfit is salmonella.
Look at this fucking Metal Gear Solid wannabe head ass. I hate Ghost costumes so fucking much!
Oh gee, no you don't fucking say.
And hey, look at that. I was right. Thunderbolts is just a working title in-universe, which is why it's got the asterisk.
Nice.
Yeah. Or did I say that? Maybe somebody else said that. I think my guess was a little bit off. I think my guess was maybe they were calling themselves the Avengers, but... Yeah, no, I think it was that the asterisk was to represent working title. I think that was it.
Gotcha.
I'll have to rewatch it at some point. I don't remember what episode to rewatch, so I guess I'll just have to rewatch a bunch. You could do that too if you wanted. Wink, wink. I'm gonna give myself a tick doing all this winking.
Make yourself a tip jar.
Yeah. Anyways, we also got a trailer for the last season of What If. What If Season 3. I don't care for it.
I saw things that make me go, I should be more excited for these, and some of them were kind of cool. The whole Avengers Mecha Deus Ex Machina was kind of neat. Oh fuck, I'm struggling to think of things.
I mean, we got Storm wielding Mjolnir. On the one hand, that's pretty fucking cool. On the other hand, Storm's not even in the main MCU yet. What the fuck is she doing here?
Yeah, that one felt like a little bit of an ass pull, admittedly. Because it's thinking like, oh, that's Mjolnir, I am Storm. It's like, why are you here? You haven't even been, like, really established yet.
If you want to make a series about, or any kind of project about a team of cross-dimensional riffraff hopping around solving multiverse crimes, go ahead, but that's not What If, that's fucking Exiles!
Yeah. Also, I do not know a lot about Storm or the X-Men in general, for that matter. But considering that one of Mjolnir's thing is that you have to be, please correct me if I'm wrong, it's like you have to be someone who's like considered more or less a pariah of goodness, ready to do whatever it takes for everybody.
Paragon,
thank you. From what little I know, Storm doesn't exactly fit that description.
No, you just have to be quote-unquote worthy, and worthy could mean anything, and very frequently does. I mean, case in point, yeah, Captain America's worthy, but also so is Thor, and Thor's from a culture who's like, yeah, fight to the death, then have a beer, you know?
I mean, apparently the Vision is worthy, too.
Was worthy.
Yeah.
Allegedly, by Civil War, the Russos were under the impression that he probably wouldn't be able to lift it anymore, but... But, yeah, no, I can buy Storm being worthy. I just... And I'm happy to see Storm. It would just be nice if we got Storm in live action, too.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Who voices Storm?
I think it's the same actress who voiced her in the original X-Men the Animated Series.
Okay.
I think. Allison Seeley-Smith, best known for her role as Storm in various Marvel animated series. Oh no, wait, she's voicing Storm now in X-Men 97. I think somebody else was voicing Storm in X-Men the Animated Series.
Okay.
So I probably have that backwards. No, so it's so funny to me because I feel like that's supposed to be the big pop, and instead it's just like, okay, so we're officially now not concerned with being a What If MCU show anymore. We're just doing whatever, huh? I can't get behind anything in this trailer. It's just things and stuff popping up. I have no fucking context for any of it. Because of how the art style goes, I can't even tell who half of the guys are. They all have the same fucking identical facial structure.
Dogs and cats getting along, max hysteria everywhere.
Horses eating each other? I don't know.
So, it's funny you say not caring about the MCU, because honestly, I think it would have been better if they just did that from the get-go. If it's just like a crazy-ass anthology series of things that are MCU adjacent, if it was straight up like the Marvel equivalent to the T of Star Wars Visions, I think that would have been a lot better overall.
No, I wanted What If to be an actual what if about the MCU, looking at how things would play out differently depending on things in different movies, and now we're just going into whatever the fuck we want, I guess. Also, it turns out I was wrong. Allison Seeley-Smith also voiced Storm in the original X-Men the Animated Series. I think I got her mixed up with Jubilee, who got her actress replaced for more authentic voice representation.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was a thing regarding Jubilee's character.
Yeah, it happened at X-Men 97. I think some people got mad about it, but nobody really cared because X-Men 97 was the one show where the fucking chuds complaining about everything going woke couldn't find any ground because people were like, you're complaining about X-Men being woke. X-Men!
X-Men.
Fucking X-Men!
Literally the most melting pot group within Marvel, arguably.
And you all are sitting there complaining that they nerfed Rogue's ass. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, I'm actually kind of glad this is the last season. I feel like it's kind of a waste to end a what-if show after 3 seasons when you could keep it going in perpetuity, but if all you're gonna do is just whatever the fuck and not actually do a what-if show, fine, yeah, cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Let's go box office.
Let's do the box office.
Let's go box office instead of let's do it. Let's go
box office.
Officing?
Office!
It's, God, the highest grossing movie domestically this weekend was still Venom 3. What the fuck, guys?!
Really?
What the fuck?!
I'm genuinely surprised by that, honestly.
Why are y'all still fucking seeing this?! Can I get one win this week?!
Everyone is still seeing it to smite you in particular.
I feel like it at this point.
Anyways,
it made $15.9 million domestically this weekend. It's sitting at $114.5 million roughly as a domestic total, and $393.9 million roughly worldwide, against a $120 million budget, which means thanks a fucking lot, guys. Now I'm gonna have to see a fourth one. I'm gonna have to see Venom in an Avengers movie.
I mean, they were more than likely gonna make another one anyway, if we're being completely honest.
Yeah, but now they have an excuse. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm exaggerating for effect. You can like whatever you like. It's really not that big a deal.
Mostly.
It's mostly not. I have a slight twinge of annoyance, but that's it. It's mostly just a bit.
Right.
95% a bit. But that 5%, boy, fucking... Anyways, Heretic, the movie that we did see this weekend.
Yes. How did Heretic do?
Second place, actually.
Good.
Yeah, $11 million domestic weekend and total, $13.58 million worldwide. We don't know the exact budget, but apparently it's under $10 million.
Okay.
So,
alrighty.
This could actually turn a little bit of a profit for them.
Alright, good.
Which is good, because, and I'm probably jumping the gun a little bit, I still gotta rewatch some of the other contenders, but this originally made my top 10, and now it's just outside of my top 10, because I thought about it, and it's kind of, I feel like it's disingenuous to do it this way, but I was like, I feel like I can't have 2 religious horror movies in the top 10, and if I'm being 100% honest, while I love Heretic, after watching it, I feel like Immaculate's better. Not just because I like a lot about Immaculate, but I also feel like Immaculate is a little more, resonant right now, not to get too deep into it.
Fair.
But, no, Heretic. Good time. Really good time. It's an A24 movie, I shouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, it definitely has the vibes, that is for sure.
I don't know, it actually... I feel like this feels like one of the less A24 movies that I've seen.
There's a particular scene in the movie where they do some camera work. I'm just like, yep, that's right, this is an A24 film.
Oh, that's probably why. They were distributors on this one, but they were not producers.
Gotcha.
Oh, this is from Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who were writers on A Quiet Place, and also The Boogeyman.
Okay.
That's 2 different ends of the quality spectrum. Well, okay, The Boogeyman's not that bad. I don't think The Boogeyman was that bad. I don't really remember The Boogeyman. You didn't see it.
No, I did not, because I was thinking, it's like, that wasn't the one where it was like the hand and they were in Australia, right?
No, that's Talk to Me.
Okay.
No, The Boogeyman was not a A24 movie. It was a 20th century movie. Anyways, Heretic. Yeah, it stars Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East, and it's about... Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East are playing a couple of Mormon missionaries who are going around trying to recruit for their religion, and one of the people on their list is Hugh Grant's character, Mr. Reed. I don't remember his first name. I don't remember if we ever get a first name, but... Yeah,
as far as I can tell, a first name is never given.
He proceeds to challenge their faith, and pretty much all faiths, seemingly with quite a bit of knowledge on the subject, and then shit goes wrong.
Shit gets wild.
It really does, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, no, this is a really good suspense horror film.
They do such a good job with the build-up, too. It takes
Yeah.
a while for the gears to really get going.
Yeah, but even still, it doesn't feel like it's spinning its wheels either.
No, the pacing is great.
The pacing is solid. It does start off slow, but it's not so slow that it's unbearable. It's still the good amount of slow to at least get your anxiety started up.
Yeah, this movie had me on the edge of my seat quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good at that part. Also,
Yes.
Hugh Grant is just in the I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want phase of his career. I love it.
Oh, it's so great. Like, Hugh Grant and our two actresses are all very good altogether. But, yeah, I would almost go on to say he's probably the best one of the three.
I think so, because I don't think it works without him.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It does not at all. Especially of how much that he is a driving force in this movie to begin with.
And that's no offense meant to Sophie Thatcher or Chloe East, both of whom are also very good in this.
Yeah, no, they're great. They have... It's...
They have interesting character arcs. There's a good juxtaposition here where Sophie Thatcher's character, Sister Barnes, is much more experienced in terms of talking to people about faith and getting conversions. However, she also seems a bit more jaded about the whole thing and a little less devoutly committed from a faith perspective. On the flip side, you've got Chloe East's Sister Paxton, who's very enthusiastic and very, very emphatic about her beliefs, and yet, unfortunately, she's the one who has the least success. Probably because of that, I'd argue.
Yeah. One of the interesting things about both of these characters is, and I'm trying to think of a good way to kind of talk about it without spoiling it, because it's also a driving force later in the movie. The way both of these characters are written and how they present themselves are individual driving forces that I think are two opposite ends of not just religion in its perception, but how religion interacts with, for lack of a better term, regular people.
Yeah.
Because one could argue that Sister Paxton, played by Chloe, is a much more, for lack of a better description, normal person, and as such, and because of that, people will gel with her and listen to her more, which is why she's had a better luck getting conversions compared to Barnes, played by Sophie Thatcher.
No, Barnes is the one who has better success.
Oh, I thought Paxton... Oh, wow, I got their names mixed up. Whoops.
No, you got it other way around.
Yes, but my overall point still stands despite me mixing up their names.
Yeah. So Sophie Thatcher is Barnes. She's the one who's a little more... Laid back and a little less... I don't want to say devout, but a little less emphatically devout.
Yeah.
But she's the one who also has more success with securing baptisms for people, whereas Paxton is much more outgoing about it, which is probably working to her detriment as specified, because it does make Barnes come off as a little more normal/approachable, like you said.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because there's so few people in this movie.
Yeah, there really are.
Topher Grace is in this.
He plays the Elder, right?
Yeah. Venom himself, the original.
Oh, nice.
No.
No? No, not nice.
No, we're talking Spider-Man 3 Venom. So, absolutely not. And he's not really in this enough to leave much of an impression, aside from, I don't know.
Shit.
He actually does play into the points that Reed makes pretty well. And kind of underscores a big part of the problem that is presented in this, but that's also a spoiler. God, it's really hard because, like, even the things that help build up suspense are difficult to talk about without it being a spoiler.
Yeah.
Here's one. I love this. This might be a spoiler, depending on how many episodes you've...
I thought it was just like, here's one that helps. I love this. It's like, yeah, we know you like the movie.
No, I'm realizing this might be a spoiler depending on whether you watched the trailer time segment where we talked about the trailer for it. But I thought there was a point in the movie where they had me convinced that it was going to swerve in one direction, and I was very upset and let down, because I thought this is the least interesting way to do this. And then it turns out, they escape room 2'd me. They bamboozled me. They pulled the wool over my eyes. They got me to watch this hand instead of this one. And I realized that's a meaningless joke, because you can't see my hands, because it's a fucking podcast. But I stand by it.
Yeah, because it's like, this is an audio format.
I was holding up 2 different hands at different points, believe me.
I can attest to that. I watched this man hold up 2 of his hands.
No, you weren't. We're in separate recording areas.
Oh, I thought you meant during the movie itself. My bad.
No, I was doing a metaphor. Make him watch this hand instead of this one. It's a reference to sleight of hand.
Yes, and they do a great sleight of hand in this film.
No, they had me going. They had me sitting in my seat going, oh, of course they do the least interesting version of this thing. Oh, wait. Oh.
Nope.
Never mind.
Fuck me, I guess.
Fuck me, Jerry, we got it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's even a point where, right before they get back on track, there's a point where it does another swerve, and that gave me just enough time to start putting things together, going, something... Either there's something else going on here, or this movie had too many writers in the writing room.
Too many cooks.
Too many cooks. Oh no, that's in my head now.
My work here is done.
And I mean, Reed does a good job being... He oscillates between charming to disturbing to smug internet Reddit man.
Yeah.
But because it's Hugh Grant, even the smug internet Reddit man is engaging to watch.
Yeah, it really is. It is just the kind of thing of, man, if it was literally anyone but Hugh Grant, this would be insufferable, because this is basically just someone off of our atheism just going on a tirade.
I don't know, should we already go into spoilers?
I think we should. I can't think of anything else that's not a decent spoiler.
Yeah? Alright, so, all in all, definitely check this out. This is good.
This is a really good horror flick.
Like I said, it's currently just shy of my top 10. It's sitting at number 11, and that's literally just because I had to head-to-head it with Immaculate, and I decided Immaculate was the better version of this right now.
I will say the only reason that I feel like someone wouldn't want to watch it is if you are devout to whatever religion that you identify with. You may not, just to put it out there, so it's like, I can't believe they did this. If you're, like, strong with your religion, you probably won't like this movie, because one of the core tenets and pillars of this movie is kind of a not flattering analysis on the effect that religion has on people and how people interact with it.
You know, I'm gonna disagree with you there, because, I mean, yeah, that's a central core tenet, but it's a central core tenet coming from Mr. Reed, who, not a great guy, not to be trusted.
Yes, that's also fair.
So, I think the movie ultimately comes down in a slightly more optimistic perspective, even if it gets horrifying, but...
Right.
Anyways, that's kind of that's edging pretty close to spoilers. So, I was gonna make a joke, and I've forgotten what it was. But nonetheless, if you don't want to get spoiled on Heretic, make sure to click away in 3, 2, 1. I'm honestly kind of surprised that he never throws it in their face that they stated that a woman needs to be in the room while they're talking to him, but then they forego that because they don't want to be out in the bad weather. I mean, granted, it wasn't really a breaking of the rules so much as, I guess, a lapse, but I feel like that would be the perfect opportunity to throw it in their faces of, well, your doctrine says don't do this, but you did it anyway. You believe me that I was gonna... that my wife was gonna be joining. He doesn't have a wife, just so you know.
Yeah, no, not at all.
If you're curious, there is no Mrs. Reed.
No, there is not.
There's a really great demonstration of how you can trick people into believing what you want them to believe just by slight manipulation of the environment and placing cues in their head. Like blueberry pie-scented candles.
That was something.
I've never been more freaked out by turning a candle around in my life.
I've never been more freaked out, but then I was also like, ooh, I should get me one of those. That sounds like a lovely smell.
Ooh, that does sound nice, actually. So, it turns out the doors all lock.
Yes.
Because of course they do. He says they're on a timer and won't open until the morning, which, okay.
Yeah, which ends up being a total lie.
Yeah, it's actually behind a light switch, but hey, it's consistent for him. He's an asshole.
Yeah, which is also something, because when that happened, I'm just like, okay, how premeditated is this shit?
Well, and we find out, very. But
yeah, when that happened, I was just like, wow, what the fuck is with this guy?
forcing them to go deeper into the house, at which point he offers a choice between two doors that are supposed to lead out the back. They don't. They lead into the basement. But not before he goes in a stirring dissertation about how all religions are just copying of the same mythological constants over and over again, with a really funny analogy involving Parker Brothers' game Monopoly.
And Star Wars.
And Star Wars! Talking about... God, can you imagine if 30 years from now they're talking the same way about Jar Jar? Jar Jar! Hugh Grant doing a Jar Jar Binks impression was not on my bingo card, but fuck, I will take it!
Yes. The door bit is the only part of the movie where I was just like, I felt like there wasn't really a definitive answer on that, or I don't know if there was supposed to be something deeper than what we got, because when the whole door bit is first introduced, Sophie Thatcher's character immediately opens the door, looks down, and we see her start to cry. And I'm just like, okay, what did you see? I'm very curious about that. Because
she sees the fact that it goes down and not out.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because one of the things that's brought up a good bit in this movie, because one of the things that Hugh Grant does is try and find out more about our dynamic duo of missionaries. And we find out that Sister Barnes' her dad died from a horrific disease. I don't remember what the disease was.
Lou Gehrig's.
Yeah. And
or blueberry disease, as Reed, quote, accidentally, but definitely on purpose calls it.
Yes. But yeah, it's constantly talked about how her dad died of Lou Gehrig's disease. And it's regularly talked about. So I'm thinking, when that happens, I'm just like, okay, are we about to get into some actual supernatural shit?
Is it regular? I feel like they only brought it up in that one bit.
Well, they brought it up when... It was first, of course, brought up when Hugh Grant asked her character about it. Right. And then when he's doing the whole, Monopoly analogy, he talks about it a little bit more. So it's like, this whole thing is like, is God really good? Is there a reason why your father was taken from you at such an age and whatnot?
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and at that point, I'm thinking, based on her reactions, well, we're going to get into some weird supernatural shit. Like, is the spirit of her father down in that room or something like that? Both happy and slightly disappointed that that's not the route that the movie went.
Oh yeah, that never occurred to me at all. I'm real glad that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, he goes on this speech. God, the fucking Bob Ross version of Monopoly.
Oh, I need to look that up, actually.
That's amazing.
Because here's the thing, I don't care for Monopoly, but I've never wanted to buy a Monopoly set more in my life when I saw that.
So they end up going into the basement after picking the belief door because it doesn't matter, both doors lead to the same thing, because ultimately the point he's building up to is that religion is all about control while presenting people the illusion of choice. Yes, very good, well done, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's actually very well done, it's a very good thing, but his point is tedious,
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, that kind of makes the patheticness of it all really fucking funny, because it's basically like just finding out he was just building up to an aristocrats joke the entire time.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I have a joke for you. I have lured 2 women into my house, trapped them, forced them to descend further into my basement, and tricked them with fake miracle after fake miracle to make them question their sense of reality, all so that I may imprison them in cages and rinse and repeat the cycle. And the guy leans back in his chair and says, huh, well, that's interesting. What do you call an act like that? The aristocrats! Fuck, I could see that now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, God, the bit where the movie started losing me a little bit is he claims he's found the one true religion, and he claims that there's a lady who will eat a pie that's completely poisoned, it's got belladonna and shit in it, and it'll kill her, and then she'll come back to life. And then they get distracted by something, so they run up, they try to do a thing, they come back down, and it looks like she's moved, and in fact she does get up, and she claims she had a vision, which Sister Barnes, being the slightly more worldly, rational one, argues is just common things to be seen in near-death experiences, and that it's some kind of trick. And then, Reed slashes her fucking throat, which is, holy shit, wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, no, did not, came out of fucking nowhere.
But that probably should have helped underlie that the whole point is that he's a pathetic creep just trying to control people, because she wasn't buying it.
Yeah.
Ergo, he was like, okay, I need to remove her from the equation, and he starts spinning this thing about simulation theory and about how she's some kind of simulated human because she's got this microchip in her arm, and it's actually a contraceptive, and fuck me, the fucking statement on disinformation in this goddamn movie has shaken me up now. Fuck.
Yeah, just a little bit. Now, what's fun is that this is also the part where Sister Paxton starts becoming really great. Like, she's already great in this. She honestly has just one of the cutest things I've ever seen in a horror movie. Because during the earlier door bit, when they're deciding and arguing about which door to go down, as they finally decide to go down, I think it was the belief door, Sister Paxton turns around to Hugh Grant, who's already very much shown not to be a trustworthy person, just goes, by the way, thank you for being so welcoming into your home and all that. I'm just like...
And thank you for your mentorship. It's like...
Oh, you're so cute. You're gonna fucking die.
But then watching Barnes get her throat slit prompts Paxton to start examining things a little more closely, at which point she determines that Hugh Grant's just trying to improvise because something didn't go his way, and it's that what happened was the prophet who died actually died, he just switched the body while they were distracted or had somebody else do it. But...
Which, when she made that guess, I was just like, alright, you're pulling that straight out of your ass.
No, I think that's pretty good, because the simulation theory was really weak, and at that point, I'm rolling my eyes going, no!
Yeah.
Honestly, it would have been better if he thought he discovered the actual religion and stuck with the prophet thing. Now you're trying to tell me he thinks it's a fucking simulation? Oh, yeah. No, wait a minute, this isn't... And then she follows the same thing of, no, something's not adding up here.
Right.
Which then leads to descending deeper into the cellar because there's no other option, at which point she ends up discovering, yeah, he's got a bunch of women trapped in cages doing his bidding, all of which he claims was voluntary, but in actuality it's because, you know, he presents the illusion of choice but offers no other option.
Right.
At which point, she then slashes his throat.
Which was really great, because he's going on and on about it. It's like how it's all about control. Religion is nothing but control, and I have predicted every move. I have made every move here so that you would do what I say. And then she stabs him in the neck. It's like, but you didn't see that shit.
Yeah, no, you fucking didn't.
Yeah, no.
There's a really good diorama shot when she's running back up the stairs where it cuts to the, like, model diorama of Hugh Grant's house that he's got.
That was great camera work.
Oh, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I think the movie ends on an ultimately slightly more optimistic take about religion. Because Reed ends up stabbing her in the gut before she can get out.
Yeah.
And at that point, she actually starts praying for both of them. And he's very confused, obviously. And she actually cites a scientific study that was conducted where they tested the effectiveness of prayers on recovery and determined that it doesn't make a difference. But she asserts that it does matter, not because and that you don't pray because you expect anything, you pray for your own sake. You pray because it gives you something to do this for somebody else, even if it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's pretty damn powerful. And I say that as somebody who's not religious in the slightest.
Yeah, I thought it was one of those things where it's like, that's a really sweet notion that I do kind of wish modern religion did follow a little bit more closely.
But he also has a point in the fact that a lot of religious institutions are mostly about using dogma and doctrines to control people. But that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
And then he gets brained by Barnes, who still managed to survive for a little bit, but then she ends up passing away for real, by braining him with a piece of wood with nails coming out of it.
Yeah, which I was just, damn. And like, this is right before Grant is about to finish off Paxton, too.
Yeah. And then she manages to get out, and there's a really nice callback where she talks about when she dies, she wants to come back as a butterfly, and then land on the fingertip of someone she loves so that they know it's her. Specifically the fingertip. And then a butterfly lands on her finger, and then she looks back and looks away, and then it's gone. Which kind of helps the ambiguity of the whole thing.
I'm thinking that she's probably died not very long after that.
Huh.
Personally.
I like to think she made it, and that was just taken as her perceiving a sign from Barnes when she didn't need it, but would have found it comforting.
Yeah, true.
But that's just me. No, all in all, God, I like this.
This is a really good flick.
I think that about wraps it up, huh?
Yeah, I think so. It's like, what else is there to add after that?
Oh, right, Topher Grace not having much of a role. He's just there to, kind of underscore Hugh Grant's point about control, because his concern is for finding the girls, but he also still takes everything Hugh Grant says at his word when he says he hasn't, they never came over, and then stops to just hand him a pamphlet instead, because Even in the middle of looking for missing members of your congregation, still gotta do that plug.
Mm-hmm.
Which is just, gross.
Speaking of plugs.
Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Now that that's done. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to, like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that other stuff. I'm officially done with Twitter now. No particular reason. But, I am on Blue Sky, and I'm gonna try and make more of an effort to post there, and get better at this social mediaing thingamajig. So, if you have a Blue Sky, links in the description. But next week, it's Red One.
It is Red One, to our kind of amazement, because I thought that came out, like, much later.
Yeah, no, apparently it already came out overseas, too. That's funny. At least in some areas. But, right. No, that's next weekend, apparently. There's showtimes and everything. I'm very excited.
I am excited for this as well.
But, in any case, this has been Under the Bridge with Cody, a.k.a. the Scarlet Troll.
And with Greg, a.k.a. Greg.
And we'll catch you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!